Welcome. I'm in the mood to cut some turquoise. I cut this Fox Natural, and I got a cut. So this is from the Fox Natural that would be described as sea foam. I've got 2 pieces of those, and then I got 2 pieces of number 8, one of my favorite mines to cut. So we're going to try and cut 4 really nice stones. They're going to be different, and it should be fun. And then we might set one of them, see how it comes out. And let's do that. I feel like doing that tonight, so let's do a video. Here's our 4 pieces. This is Fox Natural. This is number 8. This one might be interesting. This one's going to end up being a dark matrix. This will be a lighter matrix. These 2 will be hopefully like a water web matrix. This one could probably be split in half. Maybe I'll do that. We might get 2 stones. Let me split this one kind of right down through there, and see if we get 2 stones out of it. Looks like we could do that, so let me do that, and then we might end up with 5. Alright, so studying it on where to cut it, I think I've changed my mind. I think I'd rather make a larger cab here. If we get through that brown right there and get into color, a larger cab might be better than splitting it. I'm not seeing a good place to split this. I was thinking right through there, but what I'm left with, I'm not sure how that. I think this one would be a stone, but we're going to peek into it and see what we think we should do. So this is stabilized number 8. Now it's starting to look like splitting it would be the right thing to do. The question is just if this will join up. I like the blue that's coming up. So 8, it's very common to see number 8 cut with far more matrix, and rhyolite is the stone that number 8 is in. It's an iron-based stone. You'll see just a ribbon cut or just a little bit of color in a mostly rhyolite matrix. I don't like that type of a cut. I was much more willing to sacrifice and get a much smaller stone that I like, regardless of what other people might like. So I'm hoping that I have to turn my water up a little bit more, but I'm hoping that will grow into more turquoise than matrix. For a minute on this one so the video doesn't get too long while I just hog off the extra material. Okay, let's move on to the next piece of number 8. This one we probably want to cut that and that off on the saw so we don't waste time hogging it off, so I'll do that and be right back. This one looks like a good one. Alright, so there's the back. We can see that this color bar, if you will, runs up through at an angle and it's widest here. There's a possibility that we could pull more into it on this side. We might do a little bit of a free form. We might match parallel those faces, or else you hate to cut into the color here and you hate to cut into the color there to really like this color on this one. It's not the darkest blue, number 8, but it's the nicer color. It's nicer than average. So what do we want to do? We need these two faces to be parallel. Either we match this one or we match this one. I think we're going to match this one by doing this. That way we remove the least amount of color. Okay, now our faces parallel. They are pretty close. Are these two faces parallel? They are pretty close. We want to take off from the parts that have the least amount of color in them, minimize our rhyolite, maximize our turquoise. We're a little thicker than we need to be, so I'm taking some of that off. It's a shame to be grinding that color off, but if we want to bring this edge in, minimize that rhyolite. Now, this is muddy stuff to cut. Okay, well, rolling that edge, we're not going to get into any more color there. Rolling this edge, we're not going to get into much more. We'll go and get into more there and there. You want to come in, I think we'll be okay. I think I like that shape. We're going to start bringing those edges down. Sorry if I just bumped the camera. I looked over and saw it shaking. What do you think of that cab? I like it. We'll top it up now so I can get a little bit better control over it. It might need to be back slightly to kind of minimize this undercutting here on the bottom, but not very much by the time we roll it. Okay, now let's look at our 2-number Fox. I think we'll make this our bottom. This is going to be a nice little ringstone. Look at the color. I think we want this as our bottom, or do we want that as our top? I almost think we're going to gamble and make this the bottom. Just a gut feeling. Look at the color. Woo. Again, this is natural. This is not treated. It is not dyed. It is not diffused. It is not stabilized. We got plenty of thickness on it to make it a high dome ring stone. I'm going to change my mind and make this the top, because the stone will be bigger because of that taper right there. Because of the way that taper is up right there, we would have to cut this whole piece off if this was the bottom. But by making this the bottom, we can make that part of the, we make it a little bit bigger stone. And my concern of that white piece that was there, it got ground away pretty quickly. So no longer a concern. We will now maximize the yield by changing our plan. That one's ready to be dopped up. It's not going to be a lot of matrix or anything in this one. Looks like it's just going to be straight color. So we'll see. Our next Seafoam Fox. I think that's our bottom. can feel that this one's a little softer. It's a beautiful color. Take it in a little bit where we know it has to come in. Right about there. That right there's the question mark, that gunk right there. Will that come out? We will see. Okay, we're ready to dock up what we've got so far. I'll be right back. We are docked up. I'm not sure how this one's going to turn out. It's not going to be my taste. This one's probably going to be pretty cool. Let's start there. Just going to break these edges over in a parallel face. That's all we needed on that wheel. That'll be cool. Should go to a Fox. Not much to do here, but just cut a dome into it. As soon as we get our outer edge set, on this one, that sea foam, the pattern doesn't go that deep, so I would rather cut more off the bottom than going too deep and just end up with a plain Persian, no matrix stone. That's just me. Tell me what you would do. Set our girdle now. Nice high dome. It's going to be a pretty color. Not sure it'll be an exceptionally remarkable ring stone, but let's jump to our other number 8. I should have roughed in this shape before I dopped it up a little bit. Looks like we're going for a teardrop. We just as well do that. Start cutting in the dome and see what we're going to end up with. We're just not pulling up as much turquoise into the top as I was hoping to on this one. We're getting less and less turquoise, more and more matrix the more we go. But all right, let's go with our other natural. We got to come in a little on the side. That little guy's got to go away. Taking the right side of the stone is much higher than the left side, so we have to lose some of that. Yeah, that white stuff goes in there. Question is, are we okay with it staying there? Or do we cut it out? Alright, I think we're ready for the next wheel on these. Just as well go for an oval here. We're close enough. As I've often said, if you go freeform but you're close to a calibrated shape, but not quite to the calibrated shape, it looks like you tried. It looks like you tried for an oval and did a crappy job of it. So if your freeform is close to a shape, you're better off to go to that shape than to try and keep the freeform, because it's just going to look wrong. Okay, next one. Just 1 second, I'll get my hand out of the way. The color's beautiful. It just doesn't have any real matrix or anything to give it character. It's got that white crap that I really don't like. Okay, call that one ready for the next wheel. Our next box. nice little ringstone here. Okay, our number 8. I like the shape of it. I like the thickness. We'll see how it polishes up. That darker matrix is going to be cool looking, but not enough turquoise in it for my tastes. Tell me what you think. We have a little bit of a cleanup on our shape. Okay, and our final one. Okay, that one's ready too. Let's go to the next wheel. Move the line out of the way so I can get my head down in here and see what I'm doing. I'm going to go down from this side. You're right in the way of my shoulder. I'm going to go down this side so I can make sure I have a consistent girdle on both sides. Really the only way to see where your irregularities is going like this. To make sure that the girdle line is the same all the way around here. That one's ready for a polish. Other than I might soften these sharp edges here. Make the setting a little easier. Make it a little bit more durable, less likely to wood chip and break. Trying to get the facets out of it. They're hard to spot now, but they stick out like a thumb later after you polish it. Really the only way to see them good is to dry it. It's looking good. Natural that's a little softer is especially difficult to get those facets out of. The harder the stone, the easier it is to keep facets out of it. And our final one. Okay, ready to polish. Alright, one at a time in random order. Little ZAM polishing compound. Okay, here's kind of a low light, crappy light. It's got a nice polish. Doesn't have the matrix, but it's got nice color. Now that it's heated up, I can easily pull that glue off the back of it and get it ready to finish up. Number 2, let's do the next natural fox. Little freeform ring stone, bracelet stone. Yeah, nice polish on it. Once it warms up, that one's glued a little bit better than the last one. We might have to cut it off with a knife, not a problem. Gotta be really careful not to cook these natural untreated ones. They're a little bit more susceptible to heat damage if you get carried away. There we go, that one was warm enough that now it just peeled right off. Go to our teardrop number 8. This rhyolite goes darker, partly from the polishing compound. That's okay, because I like it darker. Sometimes that's an advantage, sometimes it's a disadvantage, and I actually can't polish it with this wheel because it darkens up. The water wave you can't polish here. You have to do a clean wheel or cerium oxide or something that doesn't put any color in it. Okay. And our little chevron, or it's a cushion cut, kinda. See, now this lighter rhyolite doesn't get near as affected by the polishing compound as the darker. It tends to stay pretty close to what it is. All right, we're ready to finish up the backs of those. Okay, let's look at our 4 stones. First, this darker matrix number 8 teardrop. Again, not my taste. A couple pits in the face there in the rhyolite. But not a bad stone, not a bad one there. Our little number 8, a little bit more of a better balance that I like. Nice color, lighter matrix if you like the lighter matrix. Nice webbing in between there. Then our 2 naturals. They have pretty color. They don't have any webbing. Have a little bit of faceting because they are a little bit soft. I might have to come back and hand clean those up. But 2 nice ring size stones. And there's our 4 cut stones for the night. Thanks for watching.